It's 11:40, which means I have 20 minutes to get myself together, watch as many TikToks as I can, reply to all the boys on Tinder. Chain of Gold drops in 20 minutes. I got the ebook. I also have a physical copy which is going to come on later today. I do want to tell you guys what books you should be reading before you pick up Chain of Gold. So you need to read, obviously, The Infernal Devices. So you want to read Whitechapel Fiend and Nothing But Shadows. And then in this one, you want to read Cast Long Shadow and Every Exquisite Things. They're just two short books that are like 50 pages each. They're like really quick to get through. And I highly suggest reading them because it lets you get to know the characters a lot more. And it's like getting to know the characters before you actually read them. So it's like you go into the book already knowing the characters. Not all of them, obviously, but you get to know most of them. And it's just, I just think it's really cool. I don't know what I'm expecting from it. I will say I love all the characters. I don't really like Grace. I know once Charlie Bowater dropped her picture of Grace, like everybody was like up her butthole. But I learned very quickly to not stand things before you know who the person is, because you never know. Like, Grace could be a type of person. Like, everybody could end up hating Grace. Also, I don't like Grace because I ship James and Cordelia. Grace is always trying to steal her mans. Like, girl, back up. Like, get your own man. So it is now like 1 p.m. Release day. I'm so excited. Well, I'm not that excited because I woke up and the books weren't delivered. Usually my mail is delivered super early. Like, by the time I wake up, my mail is always here, especially by like 12. Like, if I wake up after 12, my mail is always here. But this is going to be delivered by 8 p.m. And usually when they say that, it means that my book isn't going to be here until 8 p.m. because my postal service hates me. And I read a little bit over an ebook last night. I read the prologue, chapter 1, the stupid little chapter about James Herondale and Grace Blackthorne, which I don't care about because I don't care about Grace Blackthorne. And I was really enjoying it so far. I just want to read it physically. In my cute little notebook I bought, I took some notes, and I only have like a page worth of notes. And it's just me saying random stuff as if I were annotating, which is why I want the book, because I want to annotate for the first time. But I made like a cheat sheet. I made two cheat sheets. I made a bigger one, a more detailed one. It's really just their last names, like everyone's last names. And then I have a regular, like a post-it note cheat sheet that I have for like the family tree, so I can know, like, because like some people will be related to one person, but the other person won't. So like the Lightwoods and the Herondales are related, and then but like Anna, Alexander, and Christopher are related to Thomas, but that doesn't mean that James and Lucy are related to Thomas. If that makes sense. It's taking you in a big loop. I really love the Married Thieves is what everyone calls them, which is Christopher, Matthew, James, and Thomas. I really love their friend group. And just like, I don't know, they're so funny to me. And I love Lucy. I just met Cordelia and she's like, okay. I'm kind of scared that I won't really like, not that I won't like her, but I won't care about her. Typically because whenever, like, whoever Cassandra Clare focuses her book on is the person I care least about. But because this book is focused on like 3 different people, I'm hoping I can maybe stand Cordelia. So who knows? But yeah, I haven't really gotten that far yet. I met Jesse. I love Jesse. He said like 2 sentences and I'm like, I love you, please marry me. And I wish I had the book with me right now. Like, everyone on Twitter is like taking pictures of their books and I don't have mine. And I really want to take some Bookstagram pictures today because I actually have some Bookstagram ideas. And I want to take a bunch, like not just of like Crescent City and Chain of Gold, but I want to take like a bunch. My books aren't here yet and I don't want to start taking pictures now and then get lazy later. My postal service hates me. So that's where we're at in life right now. It is 2:30, okay? Luckily, I made my breakfast and I was walking upstairs and I heard this really weird noise. And I said, that was a really weird noise. So I kept walking and I heard another really weird noise. I said, maybe it's my neighbors. And then I checked my Amazon and it said, your packages were delivered. I literally threw my breakfast on the floor and I grabbed the books. I have not eaten my breakfast yet. I am starving, okay? I haven't eaten all morning. Excuse me for this mukbang. Look at this piece of bacon. Like, look at this. Ugh, we love to see it. I'm gonna show this more in my Crescent City vlog, but she's not as thick as I thought she was. Like, that arc is huge. The words on the pages are extremely small. They are. Now on for the real tea, honeys. She's a little damaged. I'm not gonna lie. She's a little damaged. I'm gonna take off the dust jacket. There's nothing under here. There's nothing in the dust jacket either. Oh, snap! I had a whole art print. Okay, so let's see. Cordelia, look, she's so dark. We love to see it. Wait. She's literally so... We're the same skin tone. Like, wow, we love to see it. And this Alistair, he's also dark. We love to see it. Don't know who these two people are. So that's James, Lucy, Matthew, Thomas. I don't know. Christopher. I don't know who this man is. Anyways, I'm gonna speed read my book. I'm gonna speed eat my food. I'm probably gonna end up choking because the way that let's hope I don't choke and die before I can read this book, because the way I'm about to eat this food is about to be atrocious and disgusting. And I'm glad I don't have a boyfriend, because he would leave me. But the way I'm about to scarf down this food to read these books, it's over. It's over, love. I'm currently taking Bookstagram pictures, so this is my setup. My room is messy. Yes, I'm scared to show you my actual setup, but yeah. So I have my ring light, and that's the board where I keep my schedule for the month. And there goes Crescent City sitting up a stack of books. But yeah, this is my setup. I'm gonna use a white poster board, and then I use my ring light for extra lighting. And yeah, that's just a little sneak peek, I guess, of how I take Bookstagram pictures. Not really that interesting, but if you want to know like more on how I take Bookstagram pictures, please let me know, because I will happily show you guys, even though it's really not that interesting, but whatever. So I also just want to give like a little bookshelf tour, because I don't remember in my bookshelf tour if I had this shelf. So you guys get like a little Cassandra Clare shelf. We love me being a newfound like Cassandra Clare stan, and like standing her fully, and having more books of Cassandra Clare than I do Holly Black. But anyways, so yeah, I have the Inferno Devices because these come first. I probably should put Chain of Gold here, but we'll see. I'll move it, so we'll see. Then I have the Mortal Instruments, Tales of Shadowhunter Academy, Lady Midnight, Lord of Shadows, Queen of Air and Darkness, Ghost of Shadowhunter Market, and Chain of Gold, which I think I'm going to move Chain of Gold here to see how that looks. So I'll show you guys and see if I'll keep it like that. Okay, so I actually think I like it like this for now. So this is what it looks like. I don't hate it, because this will be like in like timeline order. So I think that I'll keep it like this for now. I think. I don't know. Very indecisive. So we'll see. I honestly truly hate the way my hair looks when it's not like pushed behind my ear. I don't know. No, don't like that either. I guess this will have to do. Anyways, so I am 100 pages into Chain of Gold. This is how far I am, and I'm really liking it so far. I actually decided to annotate this, which I'm not like tabbing or anything, because my tab system isn't the same for every book. This is like one page that I have, and I even wrote inside the spine, which I never do, not because I don't like it or anything, but usually books give me enough space to write like on the side, like just like usually books give me enough space just to write here, but since Cassandra Clare words are so huge, that means I have to make my own space. I've been annotating like a lot, which I think is why it's taking me so much more longer to read this, because I have to like stop and annotate. So I like, here's another page. This is where Jesse and Lucy met, which I stan them. Here's another annotating page. Here's another. This is when I realized that I loved Cordelia, because she finally went off on James, and like I love James, like James is a baby, but he's also stupid. He is a boy, so granted. And he did something to her. It wasn't like big or dramatic, but the way that he treated her just wasn't wrong, and the fact that she stood up for herself, I just really, really liked. And I also liked like the discussion of feminism in this book, and like even Alice Starlight said something like, "Why are you always looking in the mirror?" And I just really liked that scene because of how she reacted towards him, and like, I don't know, I'm enjoying this book so far. And usually I don't annotate books even if they're in a series, just because I never know if I'm gonna like them, but I'm absolutely loving this book. There's so many characters. Somebody on Twitter said that this book is like the Kardashians set in 1910, and they are not lying. Like, this is literally the Kardashians. And one thing I really enjoy about this book is how like when I'm reading Cordelia's chapters, I'll get more like Anna Lightwood and stuff like that. And then when I'm reading James chapters, you get more of the Married Thieves. So I really, really like that. Like, depending on like who you're reading is like which characters you get more of, because there's so many characters. And like, I actually really love that. Like, I love books with a lot of characters, and it's just so fun and it's so good. And I also like that it takes place in 1910 because, and during Further Devices, it takes place like, I don't know, whenever it takes place, like 1800s. And I didn't like that. This one is more modernized. There's a scene where Cordelia was talking to Will, and she was like, yeah, we live in more modern times now. And like, she's like, we have electric cars and da da da. And I just thought that was so funny, because as she said that, I'm like literally like watching YouTube on my laptop. Like, no, like, who would have ever thought that like time would come back this far? Nobody wants to get into that discussion though, but I am enjoying this so much. So I'm gonna update like every 100 pages, so hopefully this vlog isn't too long, and I'm gonna try to keep it non-spoilery. Okay. Before I get back to reading, I also do want to state that the scene where I'm like freaking out because of Cordelia and that Alistair's skin tone, they aren't black, by the way. Like, I don't want people to think that they're black. They're not. They're Persian and white. But I just was freaking out because like how dark their skin tones were, and because in the fan art that I had seen, I thought that Alistair was white. Like, I literally thought he was white. I always knew that Cordelia had like a little bit of pigment to her, but just like how brown they're drawn in the book just made me so happy. And the fact that they were even like my skin tone, like, I would love to normalize darker skinned characters no matter what the race is. Like, that's why I loved Poppy Wars so much, because the main character was darker skinned Asian, and it just made me so happy. So I just want to clear that up, so no one is like watching this video and they're like, oh my god, Cordelia's black. She's not black. She's Persian and white. So I'm now 200 pages into the book, so it's like, I think I'm like 36% in, and honestly, between the last 100 pages, like, nothing has happened. I'm a little bored, not gonna lie, but like, I literally love the characters and I kind of don't care. And y'all know I am not a character person at all. I need plot all the time, and like this one doesn't have a plot. I don't know what's going on, but it's like, I love the characters so much, and there's so many characters that I kind of like don't care. What is this feeling that I'm having? I think that only Cassandra Clare can do this to me. Like, I think that only Cassandra Clare can make me care about a book that doesn't really have a plot. And obviously the plot could pick up. Like, there's still like 300 more pages to go, so the plot definitely could pick up. But still shipping Jesse and, what's homegirl's name? Jesse and Lucy. As you can see, I have the sticky note of them. And this is Jesse, this is Lucy, and this is Matthew. Basically, my sticky note is saying that like, I don't really care who Lucy gets with, rather it's Matthew or Jesse. But right now, Jesse and Lucy have had more scenes, so in my heart they're in the lead. So this is Jesse and Lucy being happy, and this is Matthew in the corner being sad. I have so many sticky notes in here and like so many annotations. Like this is just, it's so fun. And then seeing everyone on Twitter is reading as well, it's just so much fun. There's this one page where I annotated literally so much. Like I have here, I have annotations here, and I have annotations here. Like that is literally so much. I usually don't annotate that much. It was Lucy and Jesse. That was my brother. Yeah, it's weird because I hate Grace. Don't really have a reason to hate Grace. It's just that she tried to steal Cordelia's man. And honestly, I don't even care about Cordelia and James together so far. They don't really have a lot of scenes together. Like they have some scenes together. They have more than Matthew and Lucy, but it's like I don't care. Still loving the Married Thieves, but literally not much is going on right now. Cordelia just like went to Anna's place, and I stand Anna. There's a scene where I got the sticky note. I'm telling you guys to create your own sticky note. Okay, create your own sticky note, because this comes in so helpful, because I'm always forgetting who's related to who and whose parents is who and whose is whose cousin. This is my best friend right now. So, okay, Cecily. So, yeah. So one day Cecily was like, oh, Anna's always breaking hearts, and I knew Anna was gay because I read I read Every Exquisite Thing, so I knew. But I didn't know if her mom knew. I don't know if her mom cares. So I was like, oh, like maybe she's like, the mom is referring to boys. And then like there's this girl like running out of Anna's apartment. She's like crying, and the way Anna's talking to her, I'm like, oop, Anna do be breaking hearts though. Like, wow, sis is a player. We have to stand. So,
sure, I noted that you like this.
I said, pause, Google. Hey, Google. Pause. So, I am 410 pages through the book. I didn't upload when I reached like 300 pages in, just because I felt like I didn't need to. Like, there was literally nothing happening. So I was really bored those 300 pages. It's now like 11 o'clock. I was like, I'm gonna be done by 12. Honey, I'm gonna be done at like 12:30. Some really interesting stuff happened. Malcolm Fade was introduced. As you can see, I don't mess with Malcolm Fade, because this whole page is me just ranting. It's like here, and he gets a whole sticky note here. Yeah, me and Malcolm Fade, he can catch this fade. You know. Then there's like this plot line with Alistair and his like secret love, which I'm not that big a fan of. Like, Also, Alistair is really starting to irritate me. Like, he's really starting to annoy me. He annoyed me a lot, but I was like, you know what? He is still my boo. But recently, he's been so mean to Cordelia. Why am I saying this like I'm watching a reality TV show? Like, I'm just like, oh yeah, recently he's been really mean. But recently, he's been really mean to Cordelia, and I don't mess with it. And like, he's super, super mean all the time. But like, I just didn't like it. I don't like Grace, and I now have a reason to not like her. There's a scene that happens with her and Matthew, and I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, but there's a scene that happens with Grace and Matthew that I just do not vibe with at all, and I hate it, and I hate Grace. And everybody who was standing Grace because the Charlie Bowater pictures were so good. You look like a clown. You look like a straight clown. Let me get you a nose. Let me get you a red wig, because you look like a fool, a clown, boo boo the fool. Okay. Anyways, so this is another like annotating. I finally highlighted something. I did underline this quote that Will said. Also, Dad Will, super hot. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But I drew this picture. I can really draw for real. I just I don't have my own art style, so it's really hard for me to draw. But I really do want to draw in my books. But did you guys hear my bone pop? Anyways, so I do want to draw in my books eventually. But this is just something like I don't know, things I want to draw in my books, like that'll be funny, I guess. But anyway, so I drew the Merry Thieves. These are stick figures. So this is Matt, this is Christopher, and it's Christopher the mad scientist, and this is Matthew the pretty boy. This is Thomas, and this is James the baby, my baby. The only reason I didn't write anything for Thomas is because I have nothing to say about him. Like, he doesn't really have much of a personality. He doesn't really have much lines. Like, there's nothing to say. I finished Chain of Gold. She's done. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I really, really loved it, obviously. Do I love it more than TDA? I don't know. I think I like them both the same at the moment. It depends on how the second book is, because for TDA, the second book is kind of where it went like a little, not downhill, but like I just didn't like the rest of the series as much as I loved the first book. Like, I still my favorite, but I just didn't like it as much. So hopefully with this series, it's not the same like thing. But I annotated so much. Like, I can't wait to like reread this and like put tabs in it and stuff. I low-key want to reread it now, but the ending was pretty good. It did pick up, obviously. Alistair, he's still baby. Matthew, still baby. Christopher, still baby. You know, James, still baby. I kind of like the ending. Like, I like that, like, Cassandra Clare knows how to write my favorite tropes, but like put them in fantasy. And that's what I like, when people take my favorite like not romance tropes, when people take my favorite tropes that are kind of like normally written in contemporaries and they like put them into fantasy books. I love it. Like the whole found family trope, well, you get that more so in fantasy, but like the whole trope where there's like a group of friends and they all hang out in one area, like that's rarely ever written about in fantasy. Like, they always hang out in like okay, so in the last hours, they all hang out in the Devil's Tavern and like the attic of it, and I just think that's so cool. Like, you know how like in TV shows when they all have like that one restaurant that they always go to like talk and stuff, like that's what that kind of reminds me of. And I never really find books that really do that, but like that's one of my favorite like things like ever, is when like the friend group all has somewhere to like hang out. So the fact that that was in here, like, I absolutely loved it. Alistair redeemed himself. Well, not to the book, but he redeemed himself to me. Grace is still kind of trash, not really. Jesse's still baby. Love Cordelia. Lucy, I don't really care about Lucy, not gonna lie. Don't really care about Lucy. And then like Anna isn't really in this book. Like, she's in it a lot, but she's not a lot at the same time. So I just find that very interesting. But I really like seeing Will and Tessa as parents. Still don't care about Tessa. I love Will as a dad. Like, I don't know why. I didn't really care about Tessa and Will in the Parental Devices. I'm sorry, but I just read them last month. Like, I didn't really care about them, but seeing Will as a dad, I'm like, I love to see it. We love to see it. Yeah, I love seeing him as like a dad. And like what else? I have like a lot of stuff annotated. I have like a lot of sticky notes annotated. I don't really know how to talk about the ending without spoiling it, but I really love like the last like chapter and then the epilogue. There's this one scene where they all do something like stupid, and it's chapter 17. It's literally the first page in chapter 17. It's literally my favorite chapter. Well, not my favorite chapter, but it's literally like my favorite beginning, because they all do something stupid and then it's just so funny to me. And I love Matthew. Like, he's so funny and like charming and just ugh. And throughout the whole book, I kind of had this joke in my book, like in my annotations, that like I shipped Matthew and Cordelia, but I low-key think he's really in love with her. I don't really think that's a spoiler or not. But everyone kept saying like, oh, I ship Lucy and Matthew, but I did not see them interact a lot in this book. Like, he literally treated her as his best friend's sister. Speaking of, in my annotations, I literally quoted Best Friend's Brother by Victoria Justice, because, you know, Cordelia and James, like, you know, because James, like, Lucy is James' sister, and Lucy is Cordelia's parabatai. So I like changed it from Best Friend's Brother to my best friend's, oh no, I changed it to my parabatai's brother is the one for me. I should be a lyric writer, honestly. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope that you liked it. Stay tuned next week to see my video on me reading House of Earth and Blood, and let me know what you think. And make sure to tag your spoilers down below, because not everybody has read it. Even if you spoil any of the other books, make sure you tag them.